willing, desiring, and wanting to parent with confidence? Are you a mama who just knows in her heart that there's something more for you and that you could even do a little bit more or a little bit better, like with full-hearted heartness? You're in for a real treat, everybody, because I am here with Jenna Wilson. She's incredible. Jenna, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure to have you. I love doing this. This is a Women's Spirit interview, everyone. Welcome. And you are about to have your heart touched by this incredible woman. So let me tell you a little bit about Jenna, and then we'll dive into some conversation. So Jenna Wilson, she's a midwife, a Reiki Master, and a 7 Cups of Consciousness Master Practitioner. She's really, truly incredible. And she's also a widowed mom. She uses her experiences to be a beacon of hope, light, and freedom as she's committed to fearlessly living by her own rules. Jenna, you've been through so much in your world, and the fact that you are of service to other moms makes it all the more incredible. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
So our audience is going to want to know a little bit more about you from you. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how you landed on helping women in the way that you do?
Absolutely. So I started studying birth and working with new families as a doula in 2007, and just kind of like dove into the deep end in that realm, attending births, doing postpartum doula work, teaching childbirth classes, and really just kind of like soaking up all the different angles of ways to support families. And then I became a licensed midwife in 2014 and worked with a group practice. I got my PhDIY in midwifery.
I love that PhDIY.
Yeah,
Like
I
when
did
you're
not coin
immersed
that
in
term.
something.
Yeah. And that was my 36-hour home birth with my son. And then when my son was 15 months old, my husband passed away unexpectedly. And that, as I'm sure you can imagine, or those who have experienced something like this, you know that it just strips you of everything you thought you had. And in that really raw grief and coping experience, I did give myself permission to live by my own rules, whether that was I remember asking someone for like super dark sunglasses kind of in my first few days. I almost said postpartum, but like post grief feels similar. So like asking for those sunglasses, like I just needed some like protection and like buffer from the world. And that experience has continued to weave into my profession as a midwife and working with new families, and recognizing that the way the mass culture, like I'm in the US, and the way our culture kind of like informs parenting and creates expectations just doesn't serve families. And so my goal, my mission is to work with new families and really make their own rules. And that doesn't mean like throwing safety to the wind, of course, but it means kind of like creating tools to leave societal and even familial expectations aside. And creating a little bit of space and slowness to really identify like what are your core values, needs, wants, desires, priorities, and what do you need to like set in place as you're starting or growing a new family to grow that family in like a fertilized, cultivated landscape, so to speak.
Families, any new family would be lucky to be able to work with you, to be able to bring, because there's so much information and so much misinformation. To be able to come home, to be able to work with you in some way is magical. And they'll be able to see you more on Women's Spirit Summit, which is happening soon. We'll tell you all about that in a moment. But Jennifer, a mom that's struggling, like right now today, maybe there's a mom out there that's struggling and like overwhelmed and all the things happening. What are some tips or pieces of advice that you would be able to give her?
Well, as a widowed mom, I've definitely had my own share of struggle. And it's hard to give advice in that moment because it's like, it's just hard. And this tool right here, like just compassion and acknowledgement of how hard it is huge. You know, like the phrase comes to mind, name it to tame it. And it can just be as simple as that. Like, this is hard.
Somebody write that in the
feel
chat. Name
alone.
it to tame it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the aloneness, I think, is a huge factor too, that it can feel, it's easy to feel alone at home with a new baby or even a toddler. And the society these days is not set up to have built-in community. So naming the feelings, and if you can, do something to kind of bridge that aloneness. Reach out, which I also get is really hard to do. Like if I'm having a hard time, I'm like,
How many of us
alone.
just want to crawl in a hole when we're having a hard time? But that's the most important time to reach out and be connected, like we're all going to be next week at Women's Spirit Summit. Oh, that's beautiful advice for everybody. I really appreciate that. Is there anything else you want to say about that before we tell them about the summit?
I think that's a good place to leave it. There's definitely lots more juicy stuff.
Lots more. If you want more, everyone, from Jenna and her heart, whether you're a parent or not, maybe you know somebody who's a parent who needs this, or somebody who's been through a challenge who needs a little bit more of the incredible Jenna Wilson. She's going to be speaking next week on Women's Spirit Summit. It's August 15th through 17th. The website, I have it written down for y'all so you can grab it. The website is right here, womenspiritsummit.com. It's an incredible 3-day immersive retreat for women on a spiritual path, for women on a path to find their purpose and to uplevel their health and their wellness and their healing, and also to connect with each other. So Women's Spirit Summit is an online event. It's all live, so you'll be able to interact with Jenna and 20 other incredible speakers. Womenspiritsummit.com. Somebody write it in the chat for us. Notice there's 2 S's, that S and that S. Womenspiritsummit.com. The most beautiful part is that we as a community, a Women's Spirit Summit community, we wanted to make it free for you all. Because this event, a 3-day training, could cost quite a bit. A 3-day retreat could cost a lot, but we wanted to make it totally free and totally accessible. It's happening August 15th through 17th. I know that you know a sister or a mom or a friend who should also be there with you. So get her a free ticket too, womenspiritsummit.com. 3 days. You can pick and choose your best experience. Come to the speakers that you want to experience. Jenna's one of them. And we're doing what we call soul talks. These are our feminine holistic version of a TED Talk. So short, impactful talks. And then there's also interaction, workshops to really help you all of our audience, because we love you so much, to get connected to your heart and your soul and to go into this next season of your life feeling totally grounded and totally ready. So I'm really excited about Women's Spirit Summit. Jenna, what are you most looking forward to? womenspiritsummit.com. What are you most looking forward to?
I am looking forward to sharing 3 tools that parents or parents to be, or even I call it aspiring parents, like people in the preconception phase. It's never too early to start preparing for welcoming that soul. Sometimes we get surprised with it, so you can't always prepare ahead of time. But I have 3 really juicy tips that people can start employing or applying right away to just nourish your soul and your heart as a person and a parent.
Oh, wonderful. So you're going to be sharing that. What's the name of your talk?
It's called Branch Out, Heal Unhealthy Patterns so you can parent from the heart. So I love that, like, the family tree and thinking about your new family being a new branch on that family tree. And it's such an opportunity to just really choose, what are you fertilizing that branch with? What do you want to leave behind? And what new things do you want to weave in as new parents? Such a potent.
So beautiful. I can't wait for that talk, and everybody's going to benefit from it so much, plus all the other ones. womenspiritsummit.com, everyone. And Jenna, what are you personally looking forward to as part of the summit?
It's already happening, which is getting my talk together, reaching out to the people that I know and love and saying, hey, I have this passion to offer, and helping families truly fertilize their little sapling of a new family with confidence and information on all the different choices, and some resources to really tune into making choices with confidence. Decision overwhelm is a real thing as parents. Yeah.
I love that. Everybody's going to benefit from your talk. So beautiful.
Thank you.
This is an incredible opportunity, everyone. Women's Spirit Summit. It's free. It's a 3-day immersive retreat for your soul. Think of it that way. Come and experience this with us. Check out the other speakers. Health, wellness, healing. Jenna's expertise is parenting, and she really works with parents and those mamas. So you can come to her for that. And then there are other things at Women's Spirit Summit as well. So make sure that you go, womenspiritsummit.com. Final word that you'd like everybody to know, Jenna.
I think I realized one other thing personally I'm looking forward to is hearing the other speakers. Yeah, like, of course, I'm excited to share my gifts, and I know that this group is incredible and fantastic, and I can't wait to glean the gems from all the other speakers as well.
Yeah, me too. It's such a wonderful event, and I'm looking forward to that. So womenspiritsummit.com, everybody, go and grab your free seat while you can. womenspiritsummit.com, August 15th through 17th. Come and enjoy, bring a sister, a mom, a friend. It's all online. Beautiful experience. womenspiritsummit.com. And yes, for those of you who are busy parents, there are replays as long as you register. So go ahead, womenspiritsummit.com. Jenna, thank you so much for coming and chatting with me. And I'm so excited to host you next week, and honored to be able to put you on this platform and see you speak.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So thrilled to be here today, and I cannot wait for next week.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll